Hey guys, what is up? It is Vulture 2000, and we are back with episode what I would call 1.5 of the Puck franchise mode challenge. As you can see, today's episode is a little bit of a longer one, but it's because I did some things that were maybe a bit too in depth. But if I was to cut them, things wouldn't really make sense. But expect shorter videos in the future. In today's video, we have the drafts and the regular season. We actually have 2 entry drafts in this video, but I think in the future I'm going to change how I do it, and I think I'm going to start with the draft and end with the regular season, whereas with this I was planning to end with the draft. But I think in the future I'm going to change that. We'll see though. Leave some comments and let me know if you actually would rather me start with the draft or end with the draft, and I'll base it off some feedback. But in today's video, we are going to be doing the first entry draft, getting all those players out of the way. Lots of draft picks, lots of picks. I'm not going to say how many exactly, but it was a lot. Then we have the first regular season in franchise history. The results will for sure shock you, I can promise you that. And finally, the end, the second entry draft, which also had a decent amount of picks. I think this video is a pretty good one. I definitely wasn't expecting this team to do how it did, good or bad, I won't say. But I think you guys will really enjoy this one. So stick around, leave a like down below because I know you're going to like it. You don't even have to wait till the end to like. You might as well just like now. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. Go to the draft quickly before the draft. Let's just go look at the draft class. If we know anything about anybody, wow. So whoever is picking first in this made-up draft class is getting a steal. We will be getting an elite medium, seemingly this guy. NHL ready, elite medium, NHL ready, NHL ready, NHL ready, NHL ready. Similar style Wayne Gretzky. It's good to know that Bedrick Novotny is going to tear up this franchise mode in a draft that's not even supposed to exist. Anyways, let's go into the draft and get ourselves Abelt Hauser, the certified stud that he is. A totally real guy, clearly. I can't believe that we are going to have a guy who doesn't even exist, who's getting drafted in a draft that doesn't exist, that's going to tear up the league for years to come. So there he is. He is a 83 overall franchise medium, Novotny. We'll send our pick. I do not care what you guys select. I'll take the elite medium that falls to me. Abelt Hauser, the one we wanted though, or at least the one I thought we were going to get, is an 82. Elite medium. Hayes is an 82, and Gonchar was only a 77. So I hope we didn't pull the short straw here and get a guy. He is ranked 5th amongst them all by our scouts. Elite medium, NHL ready, Victor Hedman. A minus, A minus, B. Shutdown ability, heavy slap shot, great puck mover, no weaknesses. This guy looks pretty good to me. I will say, would have been nice to have been able to get a forward with this pick though, as obviously defense is our strong suit. We don't need more. We'd also take a chance on Stanislav Markov. No, yeah, that would be a stupid move of mine. So I guess we will take William Courtnall. He's an 80 elite medium, so the Sharks don't know how to draft, clearly. We do though, I guess. I don't know. He was actually kind of just forced to us. Our next pick here, pick 36. I may just skip this draft depending on the talent by this pick. I think it's bottom 6 medium, bottom 6 medium. I may just sim this whole draft. I could use this draft to try and, trade for picks next year, but I think that's a little bit cheating because this draft is made up and, really shouldn't equate to anything and shouldn't help me really do anything aside from that first round pick. He ended up being a top 4 medium, so maybe the draft's not that bad. Guys just don't know what they're doing. But yeah, we're just gonna quickly get through this draft. Actually, let me go to potential first, but I think this draft might just get simmed past. Here, we'll just take Svitov. Why not? Bottom 6 medium. All right, let's look at our 4th round pick. Yeah, and just kind of taking whatever the game thinks might be remotely decent at hockey. Right, so they think maybe this guy knows how to play hockey. Maybe. Coming out of, is that, what flag is that? Is that Armenia? I should know. I pride myself on flag knowledge, but whatever. Now to pick 135. The pickings are oh so slim. Tarasov right there for us. Basically begging to be drafted. And he is, I'm hoping, not complete nothingness, but he is going to be, yep, a bottom 6 medium. I cannot wait to get rid of all of these players when their exclusive rights run out and we can tell them that we also just do not want to sign them. And they can leave my team forever. Aiden Strudwick, right? He's going to be good. 7th D medium. You know what? Compared to most of this draft, I feel like he's not terrible. And finally, we're done here with the 7th round pick, the last pick in this draft for us. We will take none other than Petiris Bulons. And he is an AHL top 2 defender. Just what I'm looking for. So a successful draft, I would say, to be honest. The re-sign phase is essentially, if not just literally, pointless. Because, everybody's already drafted, or everybody's already on the team and whatnot, right, with the extra year. The only thing I am going to do in this re-sign phase is we are going to sign our draft pick. Just, actually, we'll also get a look at this team. So defensively, this is why I thought for a second after saying I'm going to sign him, he won't even play if I do, so I don't know if I should. Defense is looking deep. So we have Thomas Harley, Brandon Carlo, Keandre Miller, DeMello, I'm done with last names, Moser, Siegenthaler, Romanov, Sandin, Boakfist, Samuelson, Spence. So we're going to trade multiple of these names. We're going to trade Harley and Keandre Miller and Romanov. That'll leave us with Carlo, DeMello, Moser, Siegenthaler, Sandin, Boakfist, Samuelson, Spence. I don't mind that. I don't, yeah, because if we go over here, I just want to see years-wise. We're going to need to re-sign Harley. His asking price will be ridiculous by then. Going to need to re-sign Miller. His asking price will be bad. We might even trade Moser because he only has 2 more years, and then his asking price might be bad. Romanov's gone. His asking price will be bad. Boakfist, I think we'll actually be able to get for cheaper than what he is. For term. Spence, I don't know. Courtnall only has 2 years of unsigned status. That's interesting That's not normal at all. But anyways, that's the team as we know it defensively. In net, obviously Kochetkov starting for us. He'll be here for 3 years, and then he will walk. Dostal and Blomqvist will then fight for that starting job, I guess. Offensively, we're a lot weaker. Drouin, Gord, Hoglander, Rasmussen, Danforth, Grieg, McBain, Mikheyev, Forrester, Texier, Dorofeyev, Goudreau, Parson. But we have enough to make like an NHL squad, and a weak one at that, which is really what I'm looking for. So yeah, you've now been able to see that team. We will sim to free agency. I would typically sack all of the coaches and rebuild it, but you cannot hire coaches in this first year for whatever reason, so we just got to stick with who we have. I'm just going into free agency quickly just to make sure that there's no prospects that shouldn't be here that are. And also I need to build my AHL team, so real quick, potential. Okay, so this roster clearly has some mistakes as we see a lot of good prospects that should be on teams. So real quick, it'll take a little bit of time, so I'm not going to force it to be on video. I'm just going to go through, I'm going to get all these prospects, I'm going to trade them to their team for nothing. I'll go him and a 7th for their 7th just to make it fair. And once I'm done that, I'll take you guys through building our AHL squad. Alright, so I finished putting all of the prospects back on their teams. Again, just gave up a 7th and the prospect to receive a 7th so that, neither team was gaining anything from the trade. I just, realistically, none of those prospects are being let go. I think the roster I'm using just for some reason has them labeled as undrafted, and so their rights don't go to any team and they end up just being a free agent. Unfortunately, there was one free agent I don't know if I'm going to be signing, and it is Nikishin, who is a very good undrafted free agent, and so if he goes elsewhere, that could definitely be a problem. But we can just hope that he agrees with our deal and we can put him on his proper team. Now, I was going to build the AHL team first, but I realized instead of doing that, it makes more sense to get rid of the guys that we were planning on trading so that we know an actual good representation of our roster, and then we can start building the AHL team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find some good fair trades for guys that I want to get rid of. Could be somewhat tedious, so I'll just cut to when I have the trades ready. But the first guy we're going to try and trade here is Thomas Harley. Obviously a really good defender, 87 overall, top 4 high. He's 22 years old, right? He's very good. But his contract only lasted, I think, for another 2 more years. When that contract's done, there's no way we're going to be able to afford him. So we're going to try and trade him back to Dallas and just kind of give them here you can have him back. Just got to pay a price type of deal. Couldn't do that for a lot of guys. If I can, I'm going to just send them back to their original team. So Harley, Miller, Romanov, and maybe some others, but that's to be founded in the future. Forwards, I don't really know if there's anybody I plan on dishing out. I think really for forwards, we actually have a very manageable squad, so maybe we end up trading some of these defensemen for forwards and picks. Like K-Andre Miller, where I thought about taking Kako. I could, instead of just picks, go for Kako and some picks. So we'll see, but we're going to start by trying to get this Thomas Harley trade situated. So let's see what I can figure out. Alright, so first trade I'm going to try for Thomas Harley here is just 2 firsts. I doubt they accept it. As you can see, values on our side, so this would be a nice trade for us, but I doubt they accept it. If they don't, I might either try and just get some seconds or thirds, or maybe we go the route of trying to pick up a prospect. But first, let's just see. They are buyers, so this is more realistic, but no, isn't sufficient at all. As you can see, 1 first isn't quite enough. In the term of prospects, Maverick Bork isn't bad, a top 6 medium. They don't really have many great prospects. Maverick Bork isn't bad, but I think I'd rather leave it up to chance and draft my own guys. So we're going to ask for a third this year, as well as their second next year. See if they will accept that. Perfect. So then now we've added some picks, gotten rid of Thomas Harley, and now we will try and figure out a trade for K'Andre Miller. So right off rip, via just fine trades, we have 3 offers from the Rangers. We had Gabe Perreault, a third and a fifth, Sakura Emery in a third, or Emery Berard in a third. Let's go look at this one first, and then we'll see maybe we want to change things around. Gabe Perreault is a top 6 high at 19, 71 years old, a good playmaker. Emery was a guy that they had available to us. 70 overall, top 4 medium, 18 a defensive defenseman. That's not bad. They also had a forward, can't exactly remember his name, Sakura there. He's also a 71 at 19, but he's a top 6 medium. I like Gabe Perreault and a third and a fifth. We'll try and bump it up to a fourth just because. Oh, it's not possible. Okay, so a third, a fifth, and maybe a seventh just to sweeten the deal for us a little bit more if they'll accept. And they will. So that is our second player gone. Real quick, just to look at our defensemen now. We've got 86, 84, 84, 84, 83. Still too many good guys. Next guy on the chopping block could really be anybody. I think Romanov will be an affordable price. I think we could try and get rid of Samuelson. Has 6 years at this price. He's only 82 overall. Although I do like the term, I think we can try and ink Romanov to a similar term. Actually, you know what I'm going to do instead is what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can figure out an extension for Romanov now. And if we can get an extension that's better than Samuelson's, we'll keep him. If not, we'll keep Samuelson. So let's see how that goes. So Romanov was not willing to make a deal that was similar to that of Matthias Samuelsson. So we are going to be moving him. Again, trying to keep him on his actual team. So we're going to try and send him to the New York Islanders here for a second and a third. Let's see what they say. It is rejected. I would like to keep that second if possible. Rookies, do they have any decent ones? This guy, oh, he's 25. I don't like that. Danny Nelson, top 9 medium. Oh my goodness. Their prospects are not good at all. So we're going to just have to downgrade in drafts picks to try and get a fourth. They're not even slightly interested. Let's even get a second and a sixth, both this year. Not quite, nope. Maybe a second and a seventh. I don't want to not have a second out of this deal, but if we have to, I guess we have to. They don't have a third, or they do have a third this year, so we'll go for a third this year and next. That looks pretty even. We'll see if we can maybe throw in a fifth this year as well. No, I do like to try and get my money's worth out of these deals. No, not quite. If we can get a seventh, that'd be great. If not, we will settle for 2/3. I think that should be good as 2/3. Yes, so there we go. Romanov is now dished out to the Islanders. And now we have, I believe, just one more defender to get rid of. We're keeping Carlos Siegenthaler and DeMello, as well as keeping Sandin, Samuelson, Boqvist. Those will be our top 6 in the NHL. The next guy we have to get rid of is J.J. Moser. He's not bad, but an 84 overall at 24, top 4 medium. Only 2 more years. I don't know how well, we're going to be able to re-sign him. I'd rather get ahead of it, especially because I don't want guys like Boakfist just sitting out. So we're going to get ahead of it by trading him to Tampa. Tampa, it seems, can't afford him even though he's their player. His value is pretty good, but they have no first rounders to give us. We could try and take their first in 2026. It has next to no value though. And as you can see, value leans on them heavily. Possibly this is heavily on our side though, so I doubt it. We could try and get their first next year, fourth this year for JJ Moser. Rejected. It is too far off. Go with their fourth maybe. To be honest, I thought that was a fifth when I selected it. Their sixth, possibly. Too far off. Even go with their lowest ranked seventh. Also too far off. If we can get it 1-for-1, we will. Perfect. So that is the end of our forward deals, and I think that is the end of our deals altogether. As we look at the forwards now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spence, I guess, will have to play a year in the AHL, or maybe he'll end up beating somebody out over the offseason. Courtnall, Ball, some guys for the AHL. In net, obviously, nobody we care to deal. And forwards, there's nobody here worth dealing. I don't think we're going to be in contract issues on a forward, at least not quite yet. So now that we're finished with trading, I'm going to attempt to just build this AHL squad. It might take a while, so I'm just going to try and build the team, and then I'll show you who we have on that AHL squad once that's complete. Alright, so I believe the AHL team is built, so we will show you head to toe the roster now. This is the offense. Obviously, nothing special, but, you know, it isn't meant to be this year. The defense, we signed a couple of decent guys who may grow a little bit, but also we liked, this is the AHL, sorry, but also some nice old guys who can fit in, some names that people know, you know, Milan Lucic and Nick Backstrom, probably going to get the C and the A there. I didn't realize Nick Backstrom was a 36 overall. I think I thought he was like a 7. I think I imagined him being a 76, and I'm not really sure why I thought that, but whatever. We're gonna put him on. He'll retire with us. I've decided. Then in the NHL for defense, defense is looking a lot stronger. Might end up needing to trade some guys if we need to sell at the deadline, but again, added Olsen as a guy who maybe might grow, and then just some old guys just to fill out the roster. Then defense are in net. Kochetkov and either Dostal or Blomqvist backing him up, and then Guzda and Korhonen as that second and third goalie option in the AHL. So, you know, I'm happy with this team in the sense of this team is bound to be bad, and that's good for me. I will go through some off-season focuses for certain guys. Not everybody's going to get one, but we're going to go through it quickly. I'll do that on my own. Doesn't really make a big difference to you guys, I don't believe. And then I believe we can just sim to the regular season and get the Houston Hogs going. Alright, so we will start with the coach conversation. Season goals is first. There's a lot of work to do before we can compete. Yeah, so this is just, we're not going to do anything. For this one, I always go with team bonding. I haven't really looked at the other ones before, though. 5v5 is nice, but I don't really like that speed knock. Personally, I just don't really love the minus to all these things, so I like to just go team bonding. Doesn't mess anything up, but it just makes a better team morale, team chem. Now we can decide our captains and jerseys. So first I'm just going to strip everybody of everything, and then we will decide on who gets what. So I'm thinking Brandon Carlo is a good choice for our captain. Looking around at this team, I don't really see anybody else I should give it to instead. It was on DeMello. He might get an A, but I do like Brandon Carlo with the C. With my 2 A's, I will go 1 to Yanni Gourde, and I'm thinking the other one to Dylan DeMello I think is fair. So there are the letters, and now it's time for building this squad. So first, we'll start by just going with head coach preferred, just to see what he's into. Also for scratched, it's right now Boqvist and Dorofeyev. Might be sending 1 or 2 of those guys down. This is a left, right, right, left, left, right combo. Boqvist also righty, and I would like to see him out there. So we'll make that swap. And Jordan Spence, as well as Dorofeyev, will most likely be heading down. Is there any... Ooh, we could put Dorofeyev in instead of Parsonen, though. Parsonen can't take draws, although he's a centerman. Dorofeyev actually has better face-offs as a non-center. So Spence and Parsonen will go down to the AHL to allow them to at least play instead of just sit in the NHL watching their teammates play. Now it's time to build these lines. So I'm just thinking. I like Drouin, Gourde, Hoglander, Rasmussen, Grieg, Danforth. The thing is, do I want Rasmussen up on this line? You know, he is a sniper. They don't have a true sniper. They have a playmaker and 2 two-ways. I guess Nil's scoring ability isn't too bad. I also want to try and get the guys who are growing a little bit more ice time. So maybe guys like Texier up here instead of Danforth. Unfortunately, the chem there doesn't work all that well. Also smart to make sure that we have the right guy taking face-offs on each line. It's like on this line, it's actually better that Rasmussen takes over that center spot, even though he's not a true center and Grieg is. To be honest, I might allow Grieg to take over center, though, just because Rasmussen is a better, proper winger. We also have 2 lefties there, left, right here, left, left there, a righty and a lefty there. Realistically, I'm alright with these lines. Oh man, that power play is atrocious. Not gonna lie to you, it's year 1, and this team is so bad. I don't really mind putting care, in all honesty, to put in that much effort. So for that reason, we're actually not gonna put much into this team. Kind of just gonna go with the lines that we're told. Hope that they end up being the best lines. Yeah, I mean, this is year 1. This is a bad team. We just kind of let them do their thing. In the AHL, head coach preferred again. The chem there is god-awful. Blomqvist, and 80. Thing is, do I want Blomqvist or Dostal to back up this season? Dostal 24, Blomqvist 22. His contract has 2 years. Dostal has 1. We'll leave Dostal up for now. See what happens. But yeah, this is year 1. That's the year 1 roster. Does not look good, I agree. The coaching staff also most likely will not be good. Oh, can you hire now? Okay, I saw somebody do a video. They couldn't hire. Maybe that's because of the part of the year that they were in. I can hire coaches, so we're actually going to do that. We're going to clear house, kind of. There is no head coaches, and there's only 2 associates, but there's tons of assistants. So we're gonna clear most of the house. For the most part, we're gonna clear it out, and rebuild this entire front office, this entire staff, essentially, as well as scouts. Oh, I'm not allowed. Okay, whatever. I'll do that later. Why? Do I have to do it now? Okay. Oh, that's why. I'll make you AHL head coach for now. As well as I'm going to fire all scouts we have because, you know, it's just, there's some NHL ones here. There's going to be some C-, D-. Really, there's never a need for C- or D- scouts. There's always better scouts than that out there. So you can just clear this completely out. Alright, now this might take a little bit. We have finished refilling the entire staff. I was gonna take you guys through doing it with me, hence why that last clip kind of sounds like it got cut short, but it took far too long, and I just didn't think you guys cared to sit through all that. So, whole new coaching staff here, except for head coach and associate, and whole new scouts, just to show you if you don't really know where to sign scouts. I'll show you how I like to do it. I personally go with 2 per CHL league, so 2 in the W, 2 in the O, 2 in the Q. Then I get 4 USA scouts, 1 in the West, 1 in the East, 2 Central. I get 1 scout for each European league, 2 scouts for the SHL and 2 for Liga, and then I get 2 Russian scouts as well. That's how I like to do it. I find that just covers the most ground where it matters. The only league that isn't watched is Allsvenskan and Rest of World, which both rarely produce any prospects, and if they do, they're typically poor ones. So it just is a waste of time for me. We will run you through the lines again really quickly, just as a refresher before the season starts. So this is the offense, not very good, obviously. This is the defense, also not very good, but better. The defense is okay. The offense, of course, is bad though. Then we have Kochetkov and Dostal in net. Don't really know why they want Dostal to start game 1, but that's not going to happen. And we will quickly jump in just to show you guys what the ratings are looking like. So we're sitting with an 86 offense, an 89 defense, and an 84 goaltending. Like I said, our defense isn't too bad. An 89, although not incredible, isn't the worst I've seen. The offense, of course, isn't very good. The goaltending isn't very good, but that's okay. We're expecting a bad year this year, but in all honesty, that's what I want. I want a bad year. So we're going to sim the season. Instead of taking you through the sim, I'm just going to jump to different parts throughout the sim due to the fact that the sim engine in NHL 25 isn't very good, and it'll just take a long time. My personal way of simming is I like to go first 10 games of the season, and then I just go by month. I go each month after that. So we will start this sim off, and I will get to you guys when we have played 10 games, and we'll see how the Houston Hogs are doing. Hopefully bad, because I'd like a good draft pick this year. 10 games into the year now, and as you can see, we are sitting with a record of 5-5-0. In all honesty, better than I'd expect from this squad. And it looks like Pyotr Kochetkov is a big reason for it, as he's holding a .924, .233 in 8 games played so far. A very good season from him. We're also seeing some elite play from Jonathan Drouin with 12 points and 7 goals. Nils Hoglander has 8 assists. So we're seeing some strong starts from these guys. Although we're only 15th in goals for, 13th in goals against, and we have one of the worst penalty kills in the entire NHL. But clearly, the first line doesn't matter, or doesn't care, I should say, about how bad this team is, and neither does Pyotr Kochetkov. So now that we've been through the first 10 games, we're going to sim to the end of the next month, and we're going to see how we're doing when we get to there. All right, guys, so we are at the start of December, 26 games into the season now, and we are currently first in our division. This is not the season I was planning for, nor hoping for. In 26 games, Pyotr Kochetkov has played in 24 of them, where he's holding a 915 281. What button did I just press? Box scores, didn't mean to do that. Team leaders wise, Jonathan Drouin is tearing up the league. He has 33 points and 14 goals. Niels Hoglander is still doing great with 20 assists, and Rasmus Sandin leads our defense with 13. I really don't know why we are performing as good as we are at the moment. And I'd be lying if I said I was happy we're performing as good as we are at the moment. I was kind of hoping this team would really suck, but clearly they don't want to do that. If we just quickly check the stats to see who's really tearing it up, Drouin and Niels are both over a point per game, and Yanni Gourde is at 24 points. Danforth is tearing it up. Ilya Mikheyev. We're seeing a lot of guys just putting up good numbers, and I don't know why, and I can't say I'm happy about it if I'm being completely honest with you. In net, Dostal's also doing decent, even though he only has 1 win, 2 losses. I mean, I really don't know why this team is as good as it is. In all honesty, I'm pretty upset about it. It's looking like Jonathan Drouin is going to be a trading chip sooner or later, because I would still like to be a seller, and I don't think this team has a roster built for playoff success, so there's no point to make it. So we'll sim to the end of December and see if maybe this team has come back down to earth and realized what they truly are. All right, guys. So the Houston Hogs continue to succeed. As you can see here, 38 games played. We are second in the Central Division, very close behind the Wild, though. In how many games? 38. We are led in points now by Niels Hoglander with 42. I will say I do like to see that, as I'm hoping he can grow and be a player for us one day. Defensively is Sandin with 19. Goals is Danforth 17. Assists is now Drouin with 27. Kochetkov with 15 wins. We don't have anybody in these top 10s yet, but still, I don't really know why this team is performing how they are. I can't say I'm happy though, for sure. I was hoping for a good pick this year. Nils, Drouin, Gourde, Danforth, Rasmussen, like a lot of guys are just stepping up. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let this team ride. I know I said I might sell in January, but I'm going to let this team ride for as long as they're doing good. Once they start playing bad, I'll start selling. But I mean, if they can keep playing good and we can get a playoff appearance year one, I wouldn't be completely upset with that. So we're going to sim to February now, and we'll see if this squad's still somehow chugging. At the start of February, and this team is still chugging. We are tied for first in the Central Division in how many games? 53, I believe. In 53 games, Neil still leads us with 53 points. He's got 19 goals. Defensively, Sandy with 24. Assists is Drouin with 35. Kachekhov's holding a 914 286. I mean, this is the team that could. They're just chugging. They aren't meant to be the playoffs. Everybody said it was impossible, including me. But they're chugging, and they're looking like they might make it. And you know what? I'm not here to break it up. These guys want to go on a playoff run in year one. I'm going to let them. And so we are now going to sim from the start of February to the trade deadline. If we somehow fall down to like wild card range, we'll go full seller mode. If we're sitting around the top, I don't know if we'll go full buyer mode, but we might try and buy a little bit, try and pick up some guys. But that's yet to be seen. So let's see how this squad is looking at the deadline. Can they keep this immaculate run going? All right, guys, so here we are. It is the day before deadline day, and we are sitting third in the division with 72 points. But don't let that fool you. We're only 2 points back from top of the division, only 4 points away from being, or 5 points away from being out of a wild card, though. And so the question is, do we sell, do we buy, or do we just ride with what we've got? I don't want to trade draft picks, right? I don't want to, I do still want to have draft capital here. It's just, what do we do? If we go to lines here, let's see if there's any player growth. Nils in 84, like nothing crazy. Obviously, this first line is having a year. Justin Danforth is having an impeccable year. If we were to move somebody, he would be a guy to move. Also, maybe Ilya Mikheyev here, also having himself an incredible season. Right now, I'm thinking if we are going to sell, it's going to be Mikheyev, it's going to be Danforth. Two guys who don't mean much to me, but they are having good years. Their contracts, Danforth is almost up. Ilya is 2 more years, but who cares? Defensively, really have no idea if we'd move anybody, really. Dylan DeMello is around for 4 more years. Siegenthaler, 4 more. Carlo, 4 more. I mean, it's a lot of guys with long-term deals. And then obviously, Kochetkov, we're not looking to move quite yet. I'm ready for Kochetkov to just run out of years. Kind of plan to keep him until then. Blomqvist might actually get called up, though, due to the fact that he's up to an 82 now, and Dostal's up to an 80. I might as well do it now, actually. Makes no sense to wait. Only issue is, does Dostal have to clear waivers? He does. I could just allow Dostal to sit. I mean, doesn't really change much. Only issue is we're then over the limit. So we can send down him. Perfect. And so now we can go to best AHL lines because those don't mean too much to me. Oh, look at the growth down here, though. These guys can all be NHLers next season. Hypothetically. Then we can replace Lucas Dostal with Blomqvist. So Blomqvist is going to take over here. Hopefully do well. Now that we've got that out of the way, I think it's time to go into the deadline, look at who's available, and see, do we buy, do we sell, or do we just say, ride it out, and hopefully it goes well. We're going to start with a conservative buyer, but that could change if I choose to edit my own deadline. So there's some names available, but as you can see, clause protected by most. Mikhail Granlund, an 85 overall. Spencer Knight, a good goalie for our future, possibly. Bertuzzi's protected. Nick Bjugstad. Not many great guys available. The only guy I'm thinking is maybe Mikhail Granlund. He is 33, though. Don't know if I want to go in on a guy who, well, I have no choice. He has been taken. Is there any decent young guys available who we can try and ink for term? Yoki Harju isn't terrible, but I'll pass. Not looking to trade for prospects. Soderblom is a intriguing one, but I think I'll pass on that. Kings don't really have anybody for me. Michael Haig, I'll pass. I'm surprised they are interested in trading Michael Haig, though. Maybe that's a guy I'd try and go for. Decent prospect. I feel like he tends to turn out. Oh, is it? There we go. Don't really think there's anybody here for me, though. I'm more so looking for like a low 20s guy who's already NHL. Like, it's not looking like there's anybody for me at today's draft, unfortunately. Or today's deadline, I mean. Easton Cowan is on the block, eh? Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody I want to make a move for here, so I think we're just going to kind of ride out the current team, let them kind of do what they're doing, and see if playoffs are in our future. I think we have enough picks. I don't think there's anybody I really want to move for picks at the moment. A first, 2 firsts, a second, 2 3/3, 4th, 2 5ths, 6 and 2 7ths. Oh. We cannot afford Tyler Bertuzzi, though. It would have been nice to make that trade, but Bertuzzi isn't even a guy that we can have if we want him. Question of the day, do we make some moves and sell? Drouin has had an incredible year. Years remaining 1. Who knows what he might end up asking for. We could move him here. Let's see what type of offers we can get for Jonathan Drouin. I think it's trade time. I think it is smart to sell. I don't think we're going to see anything positive come out of the playoffs. A top 6 medium prospect in a second, 2 seconds, Michael Haig in a second, a guy I was just talking about, Edstrom in a second and a third, a top 4 high in a 4th. I don't even really need defensive prospects though. Jaeger in a second, Chaz Lucius in a second. I might take this Michael Haig deal. Yeah, why not? Okay, Drouin is out. I lied about not selling. We're selling. Yanni Gourde also has good value at the moment. He has also had a good season. What can we get for him? We can get this Unger Sorum guy in a second still. Markov in a second. I just took one of their forward prospects. I'm not going to take another. Feels wrong. Unger Sorum, though. How old is he? You know, let's go check this guy out. 19 years old. A playmaker. He looks okay. I also had offers from Oh, that offer's gone. Okay. You know what? Let's take Brandon Jaeger. Braden Jaeger? I don't really know. Let's take Jaeger. If he's a guy I haven't used before. So we're gonna give him a shot. And I also might trade Danforth. He's had an incredible season. 46 points in 62 games, 23 goals, 23 assists. What can we get for him? A second and a third from Boston. That Unger Sorum guy. And a third. Zachary Rowe in a second. Edstrom in a third. 2 seconds. Secor in a 5th, Berard in a 5th, Lucius in a 2nd. Oh, 2 different C. Luciuses? That's kind of interesting. I'm going to go with the 2 second rounders from New Jersey, neither of which are New Jersey's second rounders. And also, McCabe has had a good year. He has like no value though, so I don't know if it's quite worth it to trade him. Just to make sure we have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we have enough. We can trade one more. Although McCabe's had a good year, he doesn't really have much value. Only 2 more years. I guess it might be because of his poor contract. Most trade value for guys that are on the team right now. I guess a bunch of prospects and such. Guys with the ability to still develop. Goudreau actually has good value. He's a really good two-way guy though. But I could trade Frederick Goudreau. Let's see what offers we hear for him, and if they're good enough, I'll take it. A 2nd and a 3rd is intriguing for sure. Some different prospects, and a 3rd. Some prospects straight up. I do like that 2nd and a 3rd from Carolina. No thanks, fellas. There is one issue. Actually, I haven't even been looking at it. Oh, I guess our cap is fine. Okay. Would have thought we'd be over cap or under cap by now, but I guess not. The last one here is, oh, my bad, Goudreau. Gotta go to find trade so that I can actually see teams that he's willing to go to. Okay, there he is. I did like this trade offer from Carolina. Now, we do have a lot of picks this year. If we can upgrade this to a 2nd next year, I think that'd be... Ooh, if we can just add a 3rd next year then, because if we look at our draft picks, first, 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 3 thirds. So we can add a 3rd next year, just give us a little bit of draft capital in the next draft. Okay, but I would rather have a 3rd next year than a 3rd this year. Maybe we can throw in a 6th with that 3rd. Yeah, I'm trying to get you guys to sweeten this deal a little bit more. But it's not going to work out, so we'll just take that 3rd from Ottawa in the next year's draft. They won't do it, even though they offered us. So I guess this 3rd has less value, this Tampa 3rd. Because I think that's what we had originally. Oh, alright. Well, yeah, we'll make that trade. So we have killed the squad. And there's one more move that I might make to kill the squad just a little bit more. I know playoffs were doable, but I'd rather try and sell. Maybe a bit late, but whatever. Any pick is better than what we've got right now. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But Spence and really Mukhamadullin could come up. Spence is a right-handed defender. Yes. So if Spence comes in, we'd have to get rid of another right-handed. The only thing is these guys have long-term deals that work for our system. We'll choose to get rid of Dylan DeMello. So we can either get a bunch of good players, and that's not really what I'm interested in, or a 2nd and Markov. Markov is top 6 medium, 69 overall. Really, that's all DeMello is worth. See if we can just get a 1st rounder instead. We already have multiple this year, so we'll try and get yours next year. More than 45 skaters, so I'll just take the skater. Oh, yeah, my bad. I'll just take the skater you value least. Make sure it's not a cap dump guy. I do say no, but their first this year has very minimal value. If you look at the comparison of this year's first to next year's, it's quite drastic. So I'll take their first this year and something else to sweeten the deal. Buffalo's third next year as well. I feel like that's even kind of fleecing us a little bit. Try and get that second instead. Just a bit low. We do have many late picks. We do have many picks, sorry. Let's try and add Vegas fifth this year. And that deal actually does work out. So we add another first to our repertoire, and this is looking like a very hefty draft this season. I think I'm happy with the trades we've made. We went from a conservative buyer to a team that has just kind of sacked everybody we have. We are going to be a very different looking squad this year. That's for sure. We may need you, Kevin Rooney. No, nobody needs you, Kevin Rooney. Not a single soul needs you, my friend. So the lines are going to be vastly different now. I do have to call one more guy up. That guy there that you see in the bottom corner is somebody that I gave, I think, $5 million just to meet the cap floor. It's something that you've probably seen teams like Chicago do in the past. It is like a realistic thing that teams will do. Typically it'll be with better players, but typically there's better players on the AHL squad or on the free agents list to do it with. Fortunately, I don't have those guys available. Now looking at this lineup, did I accidentally... Who is this? You know what? I do not remember Brandon Gignac at all. Maybe I got him in a trade. I did get him in a trade because they... Okay, yep, I do remember where you're from. You can keep that spot on the roster as long as you're not taking it from somebody who deserves it more. Defensively, very different look. Ooh, Mr. Jordan Spence there. Why isn't Boquist there? All right, so this is the team. Very different look. A far worse look, but that's what we're looking for. I know we're not going to be able to be very bad, but if we can fall... Whoops, I pressed the wrong button because I'm used to the old... Actually, I don't even know why I pressed that button. That button didn't mean anything in the old one. I just did it. Real quick, let's look at the entire league and see where we are in the standings. We are currently sitting 12th, so if we can fall to a bottom 10 pick, which is doable, we're only at 72 points at the moment. A bottom 10 pick is only 5 less points. So it's very doable to end up a pretty bad team this year. And so we're going to sim, I think I'm going to sim to the end of the season now. We're that close to the end of the year, we might as well. And hopefully we are doing badly by then. So let's see how the Houston Hogs end their season. All right, well, EA did what EA does best. They somehow turned a terrible, terrible team into not just a playoff team, but a playoff team with a divisional spot. Nils Hoglander finishes with 77 points, 29 goals, 48 assists. That is not what I wanted at all, if I'm being completely honest with you. I mean, I was hoping that this team was going to be bad. And bad they were not. Even after selling the team at the deadline, we somehow got better. I don't know. But this is the team that we are heading into the playoffs with. Yes, that's right. That is the playoff team. I don't really know how that's a playoff team, but according to EA's logic, that's a playoff team. In the AHL, they don't exist. Am I blind? Must be blind. Oh, not a playoff team. Alright, well, that's not optimal, but whatever. We are a playoff team. It turns out, believe it or not, I don't believe it, but somebody's got to. So we will start against the Colorado Avalanche. So let's go take a look at Colorado's lineup and see what we're matched up against. You know, not too different from ours, just like a million times better. So they're looking at Nichushkin, McKinnon, Rantanen, Lehkonen, Middlestat, Colton, Wood, Landeskog, O'Connor, Kovalenko, Kiviranta, Pearson. Defensively is Taves and Makar, Manson and Girard, McNabb and Shillington. In net is Georgiev and Kakkonen. I'm so excited to be knocked out in 4 games. Anyways, let's see how this goes. They start with home advantage. And this sim engine is a joke. But unsurprisingly, we lose game 1 and 2. Head to Houston. And I bet you wouldn't believe it, but we have been swept quite dominantly. I have no idea how we're here in the first place. We didn't deserve to be. I really wanted a good draft pick. EA didn't want that to happen. And so we head to the draft with a draft pick out of the top 16. So let's sim our way to the draft, and we'll be able to see, you know, how playoffs ended, who won the cup. We'll be able to quickly check who won which awards, you know, stat leaders and things like that. I truly can't believe that we are, or that we were a playoff team. And of course, the team that we played in round 1 is looking like they may make the finals. But the Tampa Bay Lightning will win the finals. We have a new salary cap, $93.5 million. And we do get the 14th overall pick via Montreal, who were huge buyers at the deadline, by the way. So at least we don't have nothing, but 14th isn't what we were looking for optimally. So we can quickly go check stats. Nils Hoglander is an 88 overall. First line forward. And his contract expired. I might not be able to re-sign him. I should have extended him. Oh my god. Ridley Grieg is an 87. Rasmussen an 86. Everybody is so good out of nowhere. That's scary for sure. Oh my god. Wow. Jeez. That's terrifying. Fine. Can't wait to try and negotiate a contract with 88 overall Nils Hoglander. Anyways, best goalie this season, Vasilevsky. I don't know why it's showing that he led in save percentage, but he didn't. Husso led in save percentage, but he wasn't like as full-time a starter as Vasi was. Vasi led in GAA as well as in shutouts, so I think he's going to win the Vezina this year. Defensively, it was Cale Makar with 119 points and a plus 40. That's a joke. For all players, it was Leon Draisaitl with 128, McDavid 127, and Steven Stamkos 126. Goals-wise is Austin Matthews with 62. Before we head to next year, we're just going to go, or to the draft, I mean, we're just going to check on the San Antonio Stingrays, led in points by Brandon Gignac. Also Christian Vesalainen doing solid. Eriksson. Gignac, by the way, put up all his points on a different AHL team. and then joined our NHL team, where he put up 1 point and was a -4. So good addition. He was kind of just there to be there, just for funsies. But anyways, that's our stats. We'll check retirement really quickly, see who is calling it quits. Corey Perry done after year 1. Shea Weber, Milan Lucic, and Anton Strawman. Both Houston guys. Tons of guys. One guy who isn't, though, is Nicholas Backstrom, who I accidentally signed. Carey Price also calling it quits. So just to make sure I didn't miss anybody we lost, I'm going to go to our team. We also lose Jonathan Bloom, Thoresen, and obviously NHL legend Linus Claesen. Everybody remembers his season back in 2010, 2011 with NA, where he played 4 games, was a -3, and had 4 shots. Who did he even play for? I guess probably like Atlanta? Who knows? Linus Claesen, though. Non-applicable legend. Check if we lose any coaches. Thankfully not. TJ Trevelyan and Milan Lucic both become scouts. We can look into maybe bringing those guys back. But yeah, so before the draft is I like to go to the draft board and I like to look at where my projected picks are. I might not do it for this draft because I have so many picks. It's going to take me so long. But usually I like to do it and I like to find out where there's guys that I like. But I have so many picks that I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to go right in. But usually when it's a normal draft and I have like 6, 7 picks, I'll find out where my draft picks are. And then I'll go to the class and I'll scout out each pick that I have. I guess we can scout out our first pick of the day, though. Jordan Gavin has a chance at elite medium. Matthew Schaefer has a chance at elite medium. Scouts didn't do great this year. We have Marty Danner back here, guaranteed elite medium, 3-year. But I think we are going to be able to get him with our second pick. So gotta remember, we have 2 or 3 picks in this first round, so there's a lot to consider for sure. But let's just get into the draft and let's see who we got. Hop into the entry draft here. Obviously James Hagen's first pick. I just want to see what he is. 78 elite high. But we'll send to our first pick, the 14th pick in the draft. So our next pick, by the way, is the 23rd pick. And somebody jumped. Wait, or maybe he's projected later than I thought he was. Okay. I was interested in Matthew Schaefer. But also maybe Jordan Gavin. Not really sure who to take. I might jump on Matthew Schaefer, take him a little bit early. I have confidence in him, and he is a 76 elite low, or elite medium, so I do like that. I would like to see what Jordan Gavin was, a top 6 medium, so I'm happy that I jumped on Matthew Schaefer. Now with our 23rd pick, I think we should probably take Marty Danner. He is a 2-way guy. 3-year ETA. He's a guaranteed elite medium, though. Our next pick is pick 28. Yeah, we have another first-round pick this year. That one I might try and trade, hypothetically. There's also Braden Coots available, as well as Silas Brennan. Ooh, a 1-year. Never mind, he might be my next pick. But we'll take Marty Danner with this pick, a 64 elite medium. Stand at 6'5", big guy. Now, I don't think my guy got taken. What? A franchise low? What a pick by Chicago. Oh my god. The steal of the draft. And we could take Coots, or we could jump on Silas Brennan, who looks real good. Or we could take Gabriel Daigle, who I'm pretty sure is a good prospect. A 2-year ETA. He could hypothetically be the goalie of our future. But we have multiple goalies already, so I'm going to take Brennan, actually. Even though Coots might be an elite medium, I like Brennan. He is a 1-year. So we're going to take him, a 74 top 6 medium. I would like to know what Coots was, though. He was an elite medium, 64, so that would have been a nice pick to have. He is a two-way forward, though, compared to the playmaker. So I'll find the positives here where I can. Now we'll go to pick 47. We have a pick just after this as well. So remember that. Caleb Matthews, meh. Yanni Vitainen, Vitanen? I don't know. Looks decent. Niederberger looks decent. It's hard to tell. The scouts didn't really help me out here. Yanni Engren. Benjamin Kindle. The scouts weren't really looking out for me for this draft, unfortunately. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna actually trade this pick, hopefully for a second next year. I just don't see a need for this pick. And there's multiple things I could get out of it, but I like Chicago's offer of a second and a third next year. So we'll take that. There's so many seconds this year, we really don't need all of them. Hopefully I can take that guy that I had some interest in. So there's a couple options here. Caden Kale, 4-year for sure, 5-year for sure. This guy's a 3-year for sure. Could go with him. I could go with Niederberger. Niederberger. He's pick 55. We're picking pick 50 right now. Our next pick is 56. I'm gonna take Vitanen. But the thing is, there's now 5 picks and then it's mine. Is there 5 guys? There's 4 guys between the guy I want and my next pick. These picks are up for grabs, though. They are on the block. So if we were to try to trade with New Jersey just to get a couple picks earlier, just to guarantee I can get my guy, we throw in that and we throw in a 7th round pick from Anaheim. They do accept, so we are able to move up a little bit with that pick, unless one of them jumps, which they don't. We can take this Niederberger guy, who seems interesting enough. He's a top 4 medium, 63, but this team is going to be loaded with prospects after this draft. Going to have way too many prospects, won't even know what to do with them all. It's hard to decide who I want to pick sometimes. Brandon Blacker seems solid, though. If we go here just to see, this David Holub guy looks kind of interesting, but he's in the future. We're going to take Brandon Blacker. We're going to give him a chance. He's a 64 top 9 medium. You know what? Sometimes you just got to take chances. When your scouts have done as bad as mine have, that's a terrible trade. Oh my god, I can't believe they would even offer that to me. But yeah, when your scouts have done as bad as mine have, it's kind of hard to know who to take. Sharp isn't a bad choice. Joensuu is maybe something. I like Carbonneau as well. So we have Eyes Wozniak, we have Carbonneau. Our next pick, we're at pick 63 right now, is pick 70. So what I might do is I might take one of them now, take the next one when I get there. After that 70th pick, do we have one soon after? No, not really. Not super. So we're going to skip over Sharp. We're going to take Carbonneau with this pick. And he is a 69 top 6 low. Not exactly what I was hoping for there. Then we can take Eyes Wozniak with this pick, who is a guaranteed top 6 low, but he's a gem. He's got 1 year. Could end up being decent. Our next pick is pick 76. So actually we did have one like decently close. This Lindbergh guy would have been a decent pick, but unfortunately he's not for us. This Holub guy intrigues me with the fact he has a chance at elite high. Even if he has top 4 high, like that's good enough. That guy's a guaranteed top 4 low, which isn't bad. Ooh, you know what? I feel like I've never seen Jack Evankovich not pan out. Do we have another pick before 87? We don't. I've never seen Evankovich not pan out, so I'm going to take Jack Evankovich. I do, and I will go pick by pick just to see how Holub, whatever his name was, something like that, ended up being, because he did have me interested, and I want to know if I missed out on a good pick. I did not, so it's a good thing I decided to reach on Evankovich for that pick. Our next pick now is pick 94 after this one. To be honest, I have too many picks. It's hard to stay consistently good with your draft picks when you have this many. Heikkinen isn't bad. These two are guaranteed top 6 low, which isn't terrible. Baracas could be decent. I might take a chance on him. So our next pick is 94, so we can take him with our next pick. Let's not look at these guys. Let's look at the next couple guys. So Bondar. This isn't Bondar. Where's Bondar? There he is. Doesn't look great. Yeah, I'm not really interested in Bondar. Straka here. We don't really know anything about this guy other than he's a guaranteed 4-year. I'm going to take the guaranteed top 6 lows sniper, Jason Strong. I've had top 6 lows pan out for me before. Like, I've had lows pan out. So I'll give him that chance. And then I think it was Bondar who I actually wanted. Maybe not. Maybe it was Varakis. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're going to take... See, Miknov is, like, guaranteed. But no. We're going to take Varakis. I'm going to stick with my gut on this one. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe my gut is wrong. But let's sim to pick 4. Or our 4th round pick, not pick 4. Let's see what we have here. And now the pickings get a little bit slim. Marvin McBride, you know, let me kind of see if I can find a hidden gem amongst these guys. Maybe our scouts are just kind of missing something when they're looking at their potential. Maybe they're not. Maybe my scouts are missing nothing and all these guys just suck. I can't tell. I'm not confident in any of them. Oh, a guaranteed top 6 medium at 138. As long as we don't have a pick before then, I'd be very open to taking him. We don't, so I'll take him. A guaranteed top 6 medium in the 4th round is nothing shabby. See if there's nothing better than him after, just to make sure. Nothing that I can be confident in. So we will take... Oh, there is another one, though. A playmaker. A right-handed playmaker versus a left-handed sniper. Well, let's look at who we've picked so far. It doesn't say there. I can find out, though, here in the trade selection. Or the trade section, sorry. So we've taken... Where is it? Playmaker, sniper, sniper, playmaker, 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 sniper, sniper. So pretty even, actually. I might need to call a timeout. No, we got time. I'm going to take... Let's go check their ETAs. Their ETAs is going to be what decides it. Vojtech Reichel has a 5-year at 18. Stafford at 18 has a 5-year. Awesome. So that's exactly what I was looking for. 9 and 16 versus 0 and 0. But he was an A+, so it's harder to judge. Some concerns if he could handle a professional environment and doesn't care about winning. That is definitely something that means something. Brandon Stafford, on the other hand, a soft-spoken person. Seems like he'd handle a professional environment well. good character, work ethic, and maturity. He is a bit small, but you know what? Yeah, we're going to take Brandon Stafford. He's the pick I'm making. Now to pick 151. One of 2 fifth-round picks, I think, unless I traded one and I forget, which is very possible. I've already drafted a goalie. I feel confident in that aspect. I don't think we need to go get another one. We do need to go get Thomas Krupp, though. A guaranteed elite low. Even if he's only a 50 overall, guaranteed elite low in the 5th round isn't something that you just pass up on. A guaranteed top 6 low this late in the draft is also not really something you pass up on, unless you somehow find something better, but I doubt it. A guaranteed top 4 low is pretty good. I don't know if it's better, but I'd say it's about equal. But I'm going to stick with my top 6 low here. Lars Gilson. It's him to pick 29, 229, sorry, which is the final pick of this draft for us. And first see if maybe that top 4 low was later in the draft than I thought he was. No. Pitkanen doesn't look bad. He has a chance. You know what? Yeah, we're going to take Pitkanen. He has somewhat of a chance to be something. And he's not. He's nothing. That was a lot of draft picks, though, and to be honest, overall, I'm happy. Let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 draft picks in this draft alone. That is insanity. So, yeah. But that is the end of the draft. So, in the next video, we are going to be doing the re-sign phase, free agency, the whole next season, and the next draft. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell because I'm going to try to be as consistent with posting as I can. So, you're going to want that notification bell on so that every single time a new video in this series or a new video in general drops, you can be one of the first ones to see it. Other than that, though, I appreciate all of you, and as always, see ya.